Hello, namaskar to everyone. I am Dr. Vivek Modi. Welcome to the episode 2 where we are going to discuss about mindset for communication. Friends, in the first episode we discussed about why communication skill is important. I hope you remember the story of S. Narendran. I hope you remember the examples which I have given you which highlight the importance of communication skills. Now in today's episode I am going to discuss about what it takes to develop communication skill. Friends, before we go to the skill set, we have to understand it takes the mindset. Just knowledge doesn't create results. We know so many things. It really doesn't matter how much we know. What matters is what we do with what we know. It really doesn't matter. Doesn't every smoker know smoking is bad? Isn't the alcoholic know? Doesn't he know that alcohol is bad for him? How many things we know, but yet we fail to implement that. So, if I simply tell you how to improve communication skill, I don't think I'm going to add any value in that way. See, for cooking food, you may get utensils, you may get oil, you may get masalas, you may get vegetables, you may get all that thing ingredients which are needed. But ultimately you need heat, you need fire. Without fire, you can't cook the food. Similarly, for any soft skill, for any skill to develop, you may get the knowledge, you may have your notes, you may know the techniques, you may develop your language skills, but ultimately what it takes is the mindset. Mindset is the root, then you get the fruit. And to develop this root, here are 3 things which you know, which you need to have. Number 1, creating an intense desire to learn that skill. I'm repeating, creating an intense desire to learn that skill. Now you may ask, sir, how do I create the desire? How do we create any desire? When we know the result of the desire is going to be extremely fulfilling, extremely helpful, extremely rewarding, we intend to do that. So do a simple thing, make a table and write all the things which you will get if you were a great communicator. Imagine yourself achieving that skill. Imagine for a moment that you have already become an extraordinary communicator, and now make a list of all those points, all those things which you will achieve because of your good communication. It could be making a better case in front of your boss, not hesitating while answering senior people, your ability to communicate effectively with your customers, your ability to manage your relationships with a deeper way, in a deeper level. It could be anything, but make a list. And after making a list, visualize. Visualize, close your eyes and visualize. You know, human brain cannot distinguish between what is imagined and what is real. So visualize as if you have already become a good communicator and feel that feeling that these are the benefits I am going to get after becoming a good communicator. And once you visualize, you will be able to feel that the desire is intensifying. Second thing, in the same list, make another column and make a list of the things which you would lose if you were not a good communicator. I have seen in my short corporate journey, I have been in corporate world for about little less than 6 years. My last job was as a Chief Operations Officer, COO. I was managing people. I have seen in my corporate life that so many people are there in the corporate life not because they are good workers, because they are good communicators. There are people who work well, but they are not able to communicate their work effectively. And there are people who work in a very average way, but they highlight their work very effectively. Nothing wrong in that. This is the times we are living, and it's very important to learn that skill. So write in that table that if I miss my communication, what all I will miss. I might miss my next promotion. When the appraisal meeting is happening and your HR or your boss is asking, tell me what did you do in last year, and you're scared to talk in an effective way. Maybe you miss the point, maybe you get anxious and you're not able to present your best case. Maybe the next interview which you were facing and which was an absolute suitable job for you, but you missed it because you got anxious there, you were sweating, you couldn't answer, you fumbled, you were not frank, and somehow the interviewer could not see an effective person in you. Not because you didn't have skills, not because you don't have right attitude, because you didn't have good communication skills. Friends, your entire life, your education at one side and your ability to present that thing effectively, because when the moment comes, it is that which will help you. In any troublesome position, in any business deal, in any family situation, if you are an effective communicator, it will help you. And if you are not an effective communicator, then it might cost you. So make this table where you write all your benefits and all those things which you will miss if you are not a good communicator, and then visualize both of that. So that's the first point, creating an intense desire to learn that skill if you want to be a good communicator. Second thing, ability to handle setbacks. Ability to handle setbacks. What do I mean by that? Anything when we learn, it's not that we will succeed from day one. Any new skill, and few people do not have the ability to handle those setbacks. The moment they hit the first hurdle, they quit. And you know, quitters never win. Maybe you try to improve your communication skill. Maybe you invested some money and got into buying a course and learned the communication skill, and maybe the day came where you wanted to apply this, where you wanted to make your first presentation in front of an audience, where you were probably giving a speech, and maybe out of some unfortunate reason you fail at that moment. At that moment, would you quit? I know so many people don't speak well because they have this inferiority complex that their English is not good. And you know why their English is not good? Because of this complex. Because they don't want to put themselves in the place where people will judge them. They're too much bothered about what people think of them rather than what they think of themselves. And thereby they end up living the life the way people want them to live. It's very important for us to understand this, that failures are the cost of success. If you want to buy success, if you want to purchase success, the currency is failure. If you cannot digest a failure, when I say failure, I am talking about setbacks. If you cannot digest an upset, a setback, then you would deny yourself the success. The cost of success is failure, and we need to learn this. So that was the second thing I wanted to talk in the mindset thing. Third thing, if you want to develop, and this is not just communication, any skill, you will need these three things. Third thing we come to, remember the first one is what? Intense desire to learn. The second one is ability to handle setback. And third one is ability to persevere, ability to continuously do things. Because anything which you do in the beginning, you have so much enthusiasm. In the beginning, you are dreaming. In the beginning, you have the passion that something new is happening, something exciting is happening in my life. Thereby, you continue. But as the time goes, as it becomes a mundane exercise, as it becomes a routine, what happens? Boredom sets in. You find reasons to not do that. And you tend to quit. And that's where again we lose. Ability to persevere. So many students, they ask me on my YouTube channel, so many queries come where the students are telling, sir, you know, I come from a village background and I'm not able to learn or speak good English, or my communication skills are not good. And I ask them, how long did you try it? Sir, I did that course and I went for 1 month and I went for 2 weeks. And do you think 2 weeks is good enough to become a good, extraordinary communicator? It's a lifelong process. Even today I am learning. Yes, you can become comfortable. Yes, you can develop language skills in 1 to 2 months. Okay, you can develop that much skill that it will make you comfortable in expressing anything effectively. That much is possible. But otherwise, perseverance is what it takes to become an ace communicator, or to become an ace anything for that matter. So my humble submission here is, before you learn about communication skill techniques, before you go about the knowledge part, before you go about the skill part, please see that you have the right mindset. Please see that you have that fire. Please see that you have developed those roots which will give you fruits in the future. With that, I will stop here. Thank you so much for listening to me. This is Dr. Vivek Modi, and I must also ask you about that. I have my own YouTube channel. I have my own courses. Do visit to that as well. And of course, you must have subscribed by now the Suman TV. If you have not yet, please subscribe the channel of Suman TV and keep following us. We'll keep bringing good stuff to you. Thank you so much to listening to me. Namaskar.